Okay, let's see. Going live. Let's see if we can see it on the system. Are we logged in? Yes, we're logged in. On the system, are we logged in? Yes, we're logged in. Okay, we can hear ourselves. Oh, we don't want to learn more. Pardon me. Live from the boat. Type show link to drop link. Show link to drop link. Yes. Caesar Mocha. Hey. Always a pleasure to have you on board. Always a pleasure. So it's, what time is it? It's 6:45. Yeah, it's a little bit later than I had planned. But it's a beautiful day here. And we'll turn the camera just a little bit. We're looking out the back of the boat. And here, let's change the title. Dylan Cook, live from the boat. Finished barbecue chicken. Video tomorrow. Video tomorrow. Okay, that's good. Let's change the thumbnail. Change. Where's my thumbnail, boat thumbnail? Sail background. There we are. That's good. Let's save that. And let's go back to the live and see what excitement we're having. There's the live. Okay, that's good. So, okay. Hey, Paula. Thank you for coming by. Remember there used to be a song called Hey, Hey, Paula, I Want to Marry You. And I know it was by the Paul and Paula, I think was the name of the group. And I knew a couple whose names were Paul and Paula. And that was their song. Hey, Pinky, thank you for coming aboard. So we're looking a bit out the other angle. My neighbor is going to be going for sale, and we don't want to be looking into his privacy. And let's let this run for a few minutes. I'm going to do some cleaning up. We just did the barbecue chicken on the boat. It tasted pretty good. I don't know what the video is going to look like, because in the bright sunlight, it's very hard to see the screen on the camera sometimes. And I'm looking at things, and suddenly I say, "Oh, what happened here? We missed something." But especially barbecue chicken with Greek spice and lemon juice and a bit of garlic powder with French fried potatoes, fried on the barbecue, I guess, actually, and a lettuce salad, plain salad, with some tzatziki. So it was, it tasted good. When it's on the computer, we'll see what the edit looks like. and we'll see what it looks like tomorrow. Hey, Pink ATV, number one. Yes, you are number one. Paula loves number one. Everybody's number one. How can they be number one? Because I think Paula said she's live at the same time. So I'm just going to move that camera a little bit to the side, and it's very warm here. So the camera's outside on the boat, and I'm inside where it's a little bit shady. Although we're getting a bit of a breeze, and the breeze is quite nice. So let's see what we've got going here. Let's see what this looks like on a phone. We'll fire up another phone and see what the live looks like on another phone. Always looks different. Hey, Brave Buddy Elvie. Thank you. I've seen you go by, and I haven't been over to listen to your music for a while. So yeah, thanks for dropping the link, because I'm going to drop over there once we're finished with this live. I apologize. I haven't been to visit you in a while. But I love your channel. I love your channel. Okay, let's see. What's this other phone here? Password. I never remembered a password for this phone. Oh, didn't like that. Okay, now it's happy. Thank you for coming aboard. Yeah, so when I came down earlier to do record the cooking video, it was there was no wind at all, and it was so hot. It was Charlene. Thank you for coming by. All my friends here. It's 7 o'clock in the evening here. The sun is just starting to go down, and it's so wonderful to see you coming by. Charlene, you got the Nightbot's going to come after you. All those emojis. My friend Nightbot, you never know what he's going to do to you. Let me just turn that camera just a little bit. Let's turn it around just a bit there, yeah. So we get that corner of the boat. Pardon me. Playing some copyright-free music. No, you're not prohibited, but I think, see, other people have got Nightbot complains when they do 4 emojis in a row, and you did 5. So I'm saying, oh my God, Nightbot is going to come after you. So I don't know what his rules are. I guess it reduces spam and trolls a little bit. So keep using them, and if Nightbot says you're in trouble, then just go back one less emoji. But yeah, no, the heart emojis are very much appreciated. Very much appreciated. Let's see what this looks like on this other phone. Things always look different on a phone than they do on a computer. And you learn something every day. It's interesting that I used to get all the comments and the replies to comments, get an email so I would know where to look to see what people are saying. And then it sounds like on June 28th, YouTube stopped sending emails. And I thought there's something wrong with my computer and something wrong with my email account. And then I started researching it, and I found somebody on Reddit said, yeah, emojis are good. I agree. As I say, the only thing I know how to use with Nightbot is how to drop your link. So if you type show link, the Nightbot figures out what your link is, and okay, so it looks good on the phone, and that's the only thing I figured out about what Nightbot wants to do. Other people have wanted to sort of give me a lesson. Oh, we got a fly in here. Marijuana Marianne, he's sometimes in my lives. He has said he spent a lot of time figuring out how to program Nightbot to do stuff. I see some people, they have Nightbot welcome people when they come into the channel. That I haven't figured out how to do that. I think it's nice when you see that you're welcomed. I just try to say hi to everybody when they come aboard. Yeah, so that's the boat barbecue there. So now the camera's pointing at the boat barbecue. It's not as hot as I was hoping it was going to be. On the barbecue at home, the chicken, the way I did it here, takes 10, 12 minutes. Here it took 20. And so that's a little bit slower, but I guess it's okay. It's a low volume kind of production. Oh, I feel a bit of a breeze coming in, so that's good. We can use a little bit of wind here. I'm using the remote microphone so that I don't have to worry about wind noise. I'm going to take it off for a minute because I'm going to get myself a good drink of water. So I think it can still hear me, but it's not going to hear me gulping. So I'm hoping we're going to see swans today. I saw two at the end of the channel. They didn't come in, but that's the closest I've seen them in many days. Oh, the water's not on. Let's turn on the water here. Rinse this stuff out. Water in the boat gets a little bit smelly after a while, and especially when it's so hot. It's been 30, 32 today, I think. So that's like what, 90 Fahrenheit, 95 Fahrenheit, and sometimes it gets a little bit messy tasting. Okay, where are we going to put this phone so I can see what it's doing here? No, I don't want to put it there. Let's put it in a cup. That way I can keep an eye on it and see where it's going. So yeah, so my neighbor, his boat has a fridge, and he gave me a nice cold bottle of water, and it is so wonderful to Have a cold water on a hot day. Pardon me. What else is new? Let's. Ooh, the Wi-Fi is slow today, so hopefully we're not going to have Hey JJ's, thank you for coming aboard. Let's give you a wrench and the opportunity to network. The internet is slow. Let's see, hopefully we're not going to run into problems. Let's close this here. Give you a wrench, JJ's. Yeah, so it's warm here, but it's not the end of the world. It's going to be it's the 1st of August. It's going to be winter soon enough. Let's put this microphone back on. Yeah, I moved the camera because my neighbor said he was going to go sailing and he was going to bring his whole family down, and I didn't want the camera looking into his boat, and he's not gone yet, but I guess there's traffic, people coming in from other parts of the city. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. I'm waiting to see, as I say, I'm waiting to see if the swans will come by. I saw two a while ago. But they didn't come this far into the water because there's like 12 boats on each stalk, and I'm boat number 2, so it's a long way for them to go if they don't think that they're going to have any food. So we'll give them time. The sun's going down at 8:30, so we got an hour and a half. That gives us time to see if those swans are going to get put on a show for us today. So I say the barbecue is good. It works. It's not very hot, even on full blast. It's hard to see the flame. It's a propane barbecue. It's hard to see the flame, but it's not as hot as the home barbecue. Now, the home barbecue has a bigger tank, more gas pressure probably, and because the tank is bigger, 25-pound tank, I think, and this is a 1-pound tank. So there's a 1, 2. So there's a big difference in the amount of propane, and if you go through too fast, then that's not a good thing either. So it takes a few minutes. It's still better than charcoal in terms of easy to clean and easier to start a new fire. And it is good. The salmon, I did salmon last week. Salmon was really good. The burger. Sorry, I did burgers, cheeseburgers last week. They were really good. I did avocado and I did mushrooms. I think I like the mushroom better than I like the avocado. Um, the mushroom one I did with cheddar cheese, processed cheddar cheese, and I like the taste of better. The other one I did with Havarti, and Havarti is a little bit boring. So yeah, it turned out good. It turned out good. Let's just put this guy here. I don't know why that phone's not connecting, not getting his Wi-Fi signal. Let's just hope that the Wi-Fi signal doesn't die here, but I still see the water waving, so it must be, the signal must be good. Yeah, JJ's, I haven't been by your channel in a while. I'll remember to make a note of that. As a Brave Buddy Elvie, the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful music. If you know, it's the kind of thing on a computer, hard to do on a phone, but on a computer, just let it play in the background, and you get some good music, and you get some watch hours out of it. So it's a good thing. It's the Filipino music. Don't always understand the words, but the music sounds good. Turn off that fan. Okay, we're getting power there. That's good. Billy Bob the Fish Sheeper, thank you for coming by. I was hoping I was going to get a swan or two today, but I don't see a swan anywhere near there. It's you know, when you want them to perform, they don't. Maybe they know. They know what's going on, and they don't want any part of an internet video performance. I had some ducks earlier too, but we get ducks on a regular basis. The problem with ducks is you can't really see the... Hey, Marketplace. Jody, thank you for coming aboard in whatever personality we're having today. Yeah, it's a nice view. It's originally I thought the sunset was going to be where that big tree is, and then the sun disappears behind that tree, so you don't really get a good shot. Yeah, JJ, when I set up the barbecue, the first I did a unboxing video, and my test was a hot dog, and it was a good hot dog. It was a good hot dog. I mean, from a video point of view, making a hot dog isn't that exciting, but hey, Allison Map, thank you for coming aboard. Thank you for coming aboard. Last saw you on Lashona's channel with all the good things that she's doing. So that's an interesting channel, interesting perspective on YouTube that Lashona's success has, and learn some good things from her. Don't always agree with her, but learn some good things from her, and it's a good community. Yeah, so so today on the barbecue I did chicken. Next time we'll do steak, so that I end up with all the kinds of food on the grill, and then see, I already did salmon, and the salmon was good. It got a good reaction, not super good. So I went and bought was at the fish market on the weekend, and I bought a salmon steak, $20 for a salmon steak. It was a good steak, very thick, very heavy. And then I realized I already did salmon. Why do I need another salmon video, salmon on the boat video? And I got to think of how I'm going to do this one different. But but I like the look of a salmon steak. Like it's got that nice shape. Yeah, chicken. See, chicken it works so well because you can flavor it in many ways. This one was flavored with garlic powder and a Greek spice, which I guess is mainly oregano, and lemon juice, and it turned out pretty good. As I say, the big difference between this grill and the home grill is it's not as hot. So it took about 20 minutes to cook, whereas at home it would take 12, 15. So yeah, chicken on the barbecue is always good. Big shrimp too. I didn't bring them down to the boat, but when I was at the fish market, I saw what they called jumbo black tiger shrimp. Now they're $39 Canadian a pound, so you get like 3 for $39, which is a bit of a ripoff. But they're huge. Hey, SSV Kitchen, thank you for coming aboard. Just talking about things to cook on a boat barbecue. And so the jumbo shrimps at $39 didn't seem like a great deal. But the large black tiger shrimp were only $29. And you get 12 in a pound maybe. And I think they would work well on this barbecue. I have to think of what to marinate them in. Probably soy sauce and lemon juice again with some garlic would probably taste very good. And then the barbecue adds a little bit of extra taste because it burns the meat just a bit, singes the meat just a little bit. Now these black tiger shrimps, they were, the back was cut open, so they were deveined, but the shell was still on them, and that will keep them a little bit moister than one that's already been totally peeled. So that would probably look good. And shrimp, they look nice once they turn pink. It's such a nice color. That actually looks good in the barbecue. So yeah, so I'm talking myself into it. I got to make myself a note that we'll do the steak on the barbecue, then we'll do the shrimps, and then maybe get back to the salmon steak. There's a guy. What state? This is Toronto in Canada. East end of Toronto, just east of downtown. It's not really the east end, but just east of downtown. If I turn the camera the other way, you might see the CN Tower, although the sun's in that angle, so it might not actually work. So a guy by the name of Arizona Jake, all he does is workout videos, from what I've seen. I've never actually seen any of his videos. I've just watched his lives. He does all these workout lives, and I get tired just watching him. But he's the one that made the suggestion for cheeseburgers. And there's Arizona Jake himself, hearing me talk about him. So yeah, shrimps on the Barbie. That will be something to do. The only thing wrong with the video of shrimp is there's nothing involved in making them, right? You just soak them a bit and put them on the grill and then watch them turn pink, and then they're done. So it's not an exciting production. I guess we can have a salad to go with them and stuff like that. Oh, you were here, Marketplace? Because I thought, didn't you go to Seattle or out to the West Coast at one point? Thanks for coming by, Jake. I was watching you earlier, and as I was just telling people, I get tired. I get worn out just watching you work out. Oh, my neighbor gave me a really cold bottle of water because it is warm here today. Yeah, shrimp is too easy. See, if you're going to do a cooking video, you need lots of action and you need things happening. And how do you make shrimp and barbecue? Open barbecue, throw on shrimp, close barbecue, turn over, take off, eat. So we got to come up with a way of making them exciting. Yeah, Niagara Falls is interesting. I was watching. There's a person I follow called We Go Tours, WEGO Tours, and I still don't know whether she represents the We Go bus company, because there's the city bus in Niagara Falls is called We Go, and so she was doing she does walking tours around Niagara Falls, and most of the places she talks about I've been to, because Niagara Falls is an hour and a half drive from here, so it's a couple times a year excursion, more sometimes. The Welland Canal is right there, and I like going down to do video of the boats that go through there. And we go, I can't remember what her name is, Christine I think is her name. She was in Toronto walking along the waterfront. Yes, driving in Toronto is a disaster. This boat used to be at a yacht club right downtown, and traffic got so bad it would take us 2 or 3 hours, 2 hours to get there on a weekend night when everybody else is out. And hey, kitchen. So we moved the boat here. It's only 5 miles, I guess, in along the waterfront, but it's much easier to get to. It's in an undeveloped area. There's still some old industry here. They're talking about replacing the industrial buildings with condos, which will happen, but that'll take 10, 15 years, and don't think it'll be an issue after that. But it's industrial. It's the road is got more potholes. If you drive it in the spring or the fall, the car gets covered in mud because there's trucks moving earth and dirt and stuff around from construction sites. But it's a bit rustic, and I don't mind that at all. It's right at the corner of the Leslie Spit. If anybody knows the Leslie Spit, Leslie Spit is a different direction from where we are there. Usually the camera points there, but my neighbor's got friends coming over, and I didn't want to have the camera pointing into his boat when he's entertaining. Yeah, so we're right downtown. And, oh yes, so We Go Tours. So she did her walking tour of the Toronto waterfront. She did Ontario Place, that's under construction. And she walked along the park that is adjacent to the National Yacht Club and Alexandria Yacht Club. And this boat was in National for many years. And it's a great place to be because it's right downtown. But the traffic. Oh my God, the traffic is such an aggravation. So we moved it out, and the boat's happy here. Right? The only thing wrong with a marina compared to a yacht club is that a yacht club has the club environment, which is good, so a built-in community, and they have a restaurant. So here, the restaurant is a candy bar machine, and last year they got a coffee trailer, which is good. The guy makes good cappuccino with some desserts, and this year they've brought in a food truck that does tacos, but it's at the other end of the marina, so way too far to walk for a taco. So that's I guess the difference between a marina and the club. But it's the same lake, it's the same water, it's the same wind, and people here are amazingly friendly. I say my neighbor, I've only known for a couple of years, gave me a cold bottle of water. Well, the thing about the Falls American side is that we see it better from the Canadian side than you see it from the American side. So the American side has an observation deck that you walk out, and then you can look back and see the American Falls and see the Canadian Falls as well. Whereas where we are, we see both. And last time Not the last time we were there, but we there's a new underground tunnel from the old hydroelectric plant that leads to not behind the falls. There's always been a tunnel behind the falls. The new tunnel comes out almost at water level, and you get a beautiful view of the Canadian Falls. You get a beautiful view of the American Falls. And when the boats come in there, the Maid of the Mist and the what the other one's called, Hornblower, come by. They come by so close you can really see them beautifully. So it's again, I'm a photographer, and I like the ability to get some of the photos of. Hey, Pibble. Let's give you a wrench network if you wish. Yeah, I was talking about Niagara Falls, so it's quite enjoyable. I've never sailed that far from here. I'm a timid sailor, but my neighbor sailed in that direction, and he was going to go through the Welland Canal, but he didn't realize that the Welland Canal has freighters and locks. You just can't get through, and so that put an end to his tour to the other side. So you come in at Port Dalhousie. Can't remember which was the Lake Erie side, which is the Lake Ontario side. But beautiful place to take pictures. And there's a nice park. And then Niagara on the Lake. There's good restaurants, wine country. Hey, Spirit in the Sky Blue, thank you for coming aboard and saying hi. Yeah, so the food in Niagara on the Lake is, I prefer that over Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls is very touristy. Niagara on the Lake is touristy as well, but it's sort of a laid-back touristy. Niagara Falls, the casinos aren't the only thing, of course, in town, but the casinos almost set the tone for the environment. And Niagara Falls, Niagara on the Lake, is more. There's farms. Go there every year to get peaches. Like at the end of August, you're gonna have fresh peaches right off the tree. And they're all so good, and you buy them, a basket of them, and you eat them before you get home. And you say, I should have got a second basket. So it's always an excuse to go back a second time. Yeah, it's a drive. So here, it's expressway most of the way, but even the expressway between Toronto and Hamilton is 6 lanes each way in many places, and all of it's full. There's high occupancy lanes, and they're full. So. Yeah, I've always wanted to go on a Mississippi cruise. Not always, but when I see the videos of it, I say that would be really, really, really fun. Never been to New Orleans. Interesting. Not on the list. It's been in parts of Texas, parts of Houston. It's an interesting. There's some interesting scenery there, interesting people, interesting nightlife. I'm not a nightlife person anymore to a great extent. Yeah, the moms and pops. Oh, I see. Yeah, there's very few casinos in Toronto. I don't think there's any actual casinos in Toronto. There's a couple further out. They're on the reserves because there's special rules there. And then Niagara Falls has 2, right? Yeah, it has 2 casinos. Been in both. I mean, I've been in Vegas and gambled. And Vegas has almost always been for work. We're either working at a convention or visiting a convention. Did a lot of video for trade shows and went down to install my shows to some extent. And I did enjoy some of the Vegas gambling. More casinos. I think played Keno once. I was in a restaurant and they had Keno going, and I thought, hey, I got to check this out. Didn't do a thing for me. Didn't win anything. Never played blackjack. Roulette once, I think. So mainly slot machines. So is slot machines really gambling? Not really. It's a time waster more than anything else. But you get free drinks and free shrimp, so I didn't complain. I guess the first show I worked at there was at the Sands, when the Sands was still the Sands. And wasn't that in the Vegas TV show? So it was very exciting the first time. I didn't realize the difference between Old Vegas and New Vegas. Never been to a casino in Old Vegas that I can remember. Saw a bunch of shows. Yeah, they were good. I mean, they were good. They were inexpensive in those days. So this is a few years ago, compared to a show at an arena. Oh, that's what I'm doing. I'm sitting on power supply from this computer, and it's heating my butt. Yeah. Hey, Simply Melda, thank you for coming by. Nice to see you. Welcome aboard. We're talking about gambling in the States, in Las Vegas. I guess the first thing that threw me, and I still get me a chuckle, is every time you fly into the airport, McCann Airport, and you're getting off the plane and dragging your carry-on, and the first thing you see is a slot machine. So that blew my mind the first time I saw that. Hey, lady. Thank you for coming by. Love your show. You know, Arizona Jake would say just likes just listening. I like listening to you guys, Imelda and Letty. It's such a nice, relaxing patter. It's something to do. I don't know what happened with my neighbor's family. Maybe they didn't come. Yeah, I guess maybe he's not going sailing. We'll flip the camera on the other side and look for those ducks or the swans over there. Barbecue chicken sandwich. Yeah, I didn't turn it into a sandwich, Jake. It's just loose chicken pieces with waffle fries. So I found these frozen waffle fries. So really like a slice of potato, but they're cut in a wavy form. And the way they cut them, it makes holes, so they cook nice and quickly. And season them with the same spice that I seasoned the chicken, so some garlic powder and chicken spice and lemon juice. And they turned out pretty good. I've done, I think I see the packages referred to as hash browns. They're not hash browns. They're basically just cut up potatoes that have been partially cooked and then frozen. So I've done them on the barbecue, and they turn out pretty well too because they cook fast. And especially if you get ones with a lot of peels on them, then they have a very nice texture. I don't know where those swans are. There's water from my neighbors getting kind of warm. Yeah, barbecue chicken day. I was watching a channel I follow called Cali Chicken. And there's a whole bunch of chicken channels. The Cali Chicken is it advertises itself as a California chicken cam, Cali, of course. And so some interesting people running that, and we're talking about the fact I was going to cook chickens. And I always say with those chicken people, Chicken Explorers is another one, Country Kirby is another one. There's a whole bunch of chicken people. I don't know how I got involved with the chicken people. Oh, shredded the chicken. I like that idea. Shredded chicken. Just to change the subject, I once did a video on grocery store barbecue chicken shredded into mac and cheese. So it was barbecue chicken mac and cheese. That was actually really, really good because you get a little bit of the barbecue taste and you get the texture of the chicken. Yeah, so you watch these chicken channels and you sort of not sure whether you should talk about eating chickens, but a couple of them have said, nah, don't worry about it. It's the circle of life. But, and the chickens can't understand anyway, right? So it's not like they're going to get offended. But yeah, I didn't know that chickens were a thing on YouTube, and so I don't know how I came across this group. And then once you get involved in somebody's live, then you meet all of their friends, right? So you know, all kinds of people having chickens. So when I was a kid, lived on a farm, so we had chickens, and ate the eggs and then ate the chicken. So it was, again, part of the circle of life. So well, it sounds like my neighbors. My neighbors' guests are coming, so once they move their boat, we'll turn the camera the other way and see if we get those swans. And he'll be gone till dark. So as I don't, it's a community. I don't really want to put them on the internet if they're not part of the fun. I think it's them. It could be somebody else. So we'll see. But I see the water still moving, so it is a nice view. I mean, it's a very picturesque place here. It's commercial. It's a marina, but they did the buildings are pretty in terms of their architecture and the way that they're trimmed out. And we got enough trees. Hey, brave buddy Ovi. We got enough trees that it's a park area. So it's a good place to just sit and relax and watch the water. And there's a lot of motorboats, but I don't mind the sound of motorboat diesels. You get a couple of big Caterpillar diesels, General Motors diesels running in a boat, and there's a big roar. But it's a nice sound. I'm not that impressed with the sound of jet skis and Sea-Doos. We have a bunch of them. There's a few across the dock from here, and it's a different kind of noise. It's an annoying noise, almost like a BMX motorbike kind of noise. So it's but the noise is part of what we're doing here. Trying this background music, YouTube, the audio library music in the background to see what it sounds like. Because we don't have a lot of other sounds here. I mean, even I haven't had too many airplanes flying overhead. Oh, there's birds flying by. Usually this time we get an airplane every 15 minutes, and I don't remember one coming by. Because they drown it out. Now, when the boat was downtown at National, that was right across from the airport. There's just a water channel between the land, the airport, and where the yacht club was. and more noise there because the planes would sit on the runway and they would rev the engines up, and then they'd wait for another plane to come in or another plane to leave. So it did get noisier than you'd prefer, and a little bit of pollution from the exhaust. I don't know if the boat would be there for the winter. In the spring, there'd be little bits of almost a black dust on it that was airplane exhaust, not jets, so it's not jet exhaust, but they're burning the same fuel as the jets, so it blows over. I guess the good thing is the airport was directly to the south, and the wind is always from the west here. So most of the time, the pollution would be blown away. Now, once in a while, we'll get sort of a southwest wind, and then that does bring the pollution onto land a little bit. But the airport's convenient there because, if nothing else, we would park there, leave the car there because they had parking, and grab a Porter plane to New York, for instance, for the weekend. And that's something that's hard to do in most cities. Makes up for some of the annoyances at the bad traffic. So the bilge pump hasn't given me any trouble yet. I haven't been down to watch a rainstorm. We haven't had a lot of rain during the day in the last 3 or 4 weeks, so that's still on the agenda because obviously the water's coming in somewhere. And SV Harmsway is not here today, but he's a sailor that has come on these lives from time to time, and he suggested, made a good suggestion. So there's good suggestions. There's Jake's suggestions for the barbecue, and so Harmsway, I don't know his name, his real name. His boat's called Harmsway. There's Kelly Chicken. So we're just talking about you and the whole concept of the YouTube chicken community. So I mentioned you a couple of times. Maybe a few people will wander over and see what raising chickens is all about. But anyway, so Harmsway suggested one place to look for a leak that's not always obvious is the chain plate. So the chain plate is a piece of metal that holds up the shrouds. The shrouds are the wires that hold up the mast. And so there's a lot of pressure on them. There's no movement, but there is a lot of pressure because the mast is big and heavy. And the rig on this thing has no backstay, so the shrouds are angled backwards a little bit. And but there's a lot of pressure on them to hold the mast up. And it's possible that over the years, the boat's 25 years old now, it's over the years that the fiberglass has worked its way loose a little bit. Now, you can see it from, yes, I can see the chain plates on one side, I don't know about the other side, to see if I can see where the water's coming down. And even then, even if I don't have a rainstorm, I can just run a hose on each side separately and see if I can see where the water be coming through, because it is accessible and it does run directly to the bilge. So if there's a leak at the chain plate and the water's coming in, then that's not good, but it's easy to deal with because it's very accessible. And I don't totally know what the answer is going to be. I guess I don't want to take the mast down because that's a lot of effort. But I can set up a temporary shroud and use that to keep the mast from falling over, take out the bolts, fill them with epoxy, fill holes with epoxy so that water doesn't get into the fiberglass, and then put in new caulking and tighten them up again. So that'll be, I mean, it's a major undertaking to do that, but if that's what it is, it'll be pretty easy to find. And to some extent it makes sense because the water would run along the side of the hull. It's there's nothing that is affected by water touching it. It's all empty space, so you wouldn't notice it on anything, but you would see it running along the inside of the hull if you're pouring water over those areas. So that's it could be alive, I guess. It's a boring alive because nothing's happening except me poking my head into the holes looking for the source of the water. So back to chickens, yeah. So the whole chicken community is kind of interesting. Hearing people talk about their birds and the kind of birds they have, and I don't think I've come across anybody yet that has given the chickens names, but I might have missed that. So I know when we were kids, as I say, it was farm, and the chickens were a part of what were there. So yeah, the water looks nice today. I was worried that the internet was going to be too slow, but I can see on the computer here, I can see the ripples of water, as I am hoping for swans to come by and visit us, and so I don't really want to feed them because I don't want them to get used to non-food that they don't catch, because apparently that's not good for their long-term survival. But there's seaweed that's not too deep, so it's at the depth that the I was just looking to see if we got a reverse polarity issue with the power supply, but it doesn't look like it. Cruising Europe, that sounds good. Cruising as in a boat or cruising in a car? So hopefully, yeah, JJ will see some video or some lives from there. Hope we'll catch them, but I'll make a mental note to watch. What part of Europe are you talking? The only place I've been in Europe is England, France, Germany, Italy, I guess. But Italy basically is Rome. France basically Paris. England basically London. Germany, a couple more places. On the train from France, from Paris to Hamburg, Frankfurt, can't remember. No, I can't remember. No, the train was from Munich to Hamburg to get out to see the boats in Hamburg, the freighters and so on. It was a photo opportunity. So there's a thing here. So we're in a biggish city. So there's a thing that was conceived. Now I think it started before COVID or in that area as well, where people wanted backyard chickens. Now I can't really see the point of having a one chicken in a city in order to get an egg a day, but people do it, and I think the city actually rents out the chickens, or maybe even lends out the chickens. You don't even have to rent them, and you have to give them back at some point. So the neighbor has a couple, and You hear them in the morning at 7 in the morning, bang, 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 because they laid an egg. And you chuckle a little bit and say, yeah, I know all the chickens, but their kids would never have seen that part of life, that part of the food chain. So it's probably a good thing. We have coyotes that roam around at night and raccoons that would love to eat a chicken or love to eat the eggs. But they built a pretty big, well, not built, they bought a sort of a big cage kind of thing that has a cover so that the rain doesn't get in. And they're not free-range chickens. I don't know how they explain that to the kids, but I guess they have more freedom than a chicken in an egg factory. But yeah, so I hear them from time to time, and sort of brings back a few memories as well. And yeah, so I don't know what the city does with them once if you bring back your chickens. You know, in one way, I say, okay, we've got a big homeless issue, and you could take those chickens and feed the homeless. But if you only have like 2 chickens, how do you deal with butchering them and cutting them up and cooking them? So it wouldn't make sense from that perspective. Hard-boiled eggs, yeah. Haven't had hard-boiled eggs in a while. Yeah, no, the city doesn't allow roosters because, yeah, roosters are the noisy ones, right? And they don't do a lot of good in terms of producing eggs. So if you're not creating eggs to hatch, there's no point in having a rooster around. And I don't know if the chickens miss the roosters or not. I guess if they're young, they wouldn't know what a rooster was. But yeah, no, we're not. No roosters allowed in the city. But even the chickens my neighbors' chickens are a bit noisy. So it's because I grew up with it as a kid. It doesn't bother me. When the neighbors have the lawnmower servers come in with the gas lawnmowers, and you get 3 gas lawnmowers and 4 leaf blowers going at the same time, the noise is much more annoying. Yeah, I can't remember the difference between a fresh egg and a grocery store egg. I know my parents never bought eggs as long as we had chickens, so. But that was their thing. They wanted to have the farm experience. Whether it saved them money or not, hard to tell. Got some circling of the internet there, so hopefully we're not going to run into internet problems. The problem here is because the Wi-Fi is shared with 250 boats. As you get after work, people come home and to their boat, home if they're living on it, or to their boat if they're just visiting, and either do stuff like we're doing or just sit and watch whatever the people watch, and they suck some of the power out of the internet. So yeah, so when I've talked about boat food, one of the issues with a boat without a fridge is where do you keep stuff? And a couple of times I've made a comment that you can't have eggs on a boat without the fridge for more than a couple of days. And people will respond and say, but yeah, in Europe, we leave our eggs out on the counter at all times because the eggs aren't pressure washed to remove whatever crap there is in the cage. But that also keeps the bacteria out of the eggs, so the eggs go bad here, whereas they don't to the same extent in in Europe. Oh, okay, so I see the laborers moving out. I don't know if we're going to catch him in the camera, but we'll turn the camera around. I can smell his engine. So we'll turn it around and I'll come out and sit outside for a while and catch some fresh air myself. Put this bottle of water back in the fridge, get a fresh bottle of water. Thanks, Spirit in the Sky. Appreciate that. Okay, let's flip this camera around and see what we can see. Let's see what we can see. Let's turn the camera around. Okay, so if we see swans, they're going to come in about there because that leads over to the park. I see the normal quantity of swallows already having fun. And the color, the sky is an interesting color on the phone. It's not as orange as it looks there. Okay, we'll let that sit that way for a while. I'm just going to clean up a little bit more. And then I'll bring the computer up so I can watch the chat. No charge. We'll turn up this music a little bit, see if we can pick it up outside. Okay, let's get ourselves a fresh can of Coke. We got Bill Henry's chocolate bar for dessert. Although it's in the fridge, so it's going to be hard as a rock. Minutes to thaw out. Let's let's turn up this music I hear, see if we can hear it outside. It's loud in here, but we're gonna Go back, take it outside. Okay, so now what do we got here? Now we can't really hear that music out here. That's okay. Okay, so I'm staring in the sun. I guess I might as well have me as the focus of attention. Yeah, so that sun is behind the, going to be behind that building in, so you get 15 minutes of sun for every finger. And I think it's a Boy Scout thing, but it seems to be true. So no matter if you get older and bigger, your fingers get older, bigger, but your arms get longer. So it's always 15 minutes. Seems to work for everybody. And we only have half a finger before that sun goes down below the that building that we were looking at earlier. Well, no, it's not the building we were looking at earlier. Let's find this O. Henry bar. O. Henry. It's a store that, a grocery store we have that sells packages of 4. So they're a good deal. I discovered though that I was leaving them in the car, in the glove compartment, and in the winter, it's not bad. They keep well, but in the summer when it gets 90 degrees in the car or more, they sort of melt into this blob with some peanuts in it, and so they lose their texture, but they also their taste seems to change. Cheers. Beer Cozy from, so this is actually a can of Coke, Fort Lauderdale Beach, Florida. For a while I was collecting, or not collecting, but buying beer cozies everywhere I went. And so there's a variety. I like the Margaritaville ones. I like the Bridge of Virgin Island ones. None from California. That's interesting. I never either thought about it at the time or went to a place that was selling interesting looking beer cozies. So yeah, the Sky Blue. So there's a guy that I've spoken about before. He has a boat. I have friends that live in a place called Palace Pier in Toronto. So it's at the other end of the city. It's right on the waterfront, lakefront property. They're one of the first condo buildings in Toronto. So they've been there for 50 years at least. They're the 2 black towers that you see as you come into the city from the west. And I mean, they're okay. The location is nice. They have no balconies and the windows don't really open. So not my cup of tea. But I was there for dinner one day, Thanksgiving or something like that. Canadian Thanksgiving, so it'd be in October still. And I noticed a boat anchored in this little bay in front of the apartment building. Now, it's not a boat anchoring place, it's just a little protected area of the water that's in a park. And I asked about this boat because I was interested, of course, in all things boat. and I was told that it was the guy that lived on it. He panhandled. We're going to have a plane coming overhead, so it won't hear me for a few seconds. So he would panhandle on the street right from where they are, and the Palace Pier was always considered a luxury apartment building, and the street where they are leads into Toronto, so you get the whole morning rush hour crowd coming into downtown to work, and the rush hour crowd leaving at the end of the day. So panhandling would be a good place, and there wouldn't be a lot of competition there either. So we talked about this guy, and he lived on this boat parked in there, and he panhandled. So people have always said that living on a boat is substandard housing. It's small, it's cramped, it's damp. So it has its downsides. And so we talked about this guy panhandling, and apparently he was a sort of a fixture in the neighborhood, and people talked to him on a regular basis. And somebody asked, what are you going to do with all this money that you're collecting? He said, well, I'm going to save it up to buy a bigger boat. Now, again, so if you look at him as homeless, you'd say, well, what do you do next? If you look at him as a boater, you need a bigger boat, right? Everybody needs a bigger boat. Still no swans. And so then I followed him on TikTok. His name is Tate on TikTok. And I sort of became interested in that because there was a TikTok phenomenon called Captain Dan, about a guy whose boat was tied up at the dock in a hurricane in Tampa. I think it was city of Tampa. And he was a guy, he lost a leg somewhere. He was referred to as basically being homeless, and various other things. And he lived on this boat, but his boat survived the hurricane. So that was considered a big thing. So Captain Dan, his name was actually something longer than that, starting with M. So then we got this guy Tate, that's moored his boat outside of this luxury apartment condo. And he said, yeah, if I get more money, I'll just buy a bigger boat. So then I'm watching YouTube the next year, so that'd be this year in the spring, and I see him, and he's offering, he first of all, he said he's got 3 boats now. So obviously the panhandling business was lucrative in that area. And again, it's right on a rush hour route in and out of the city, and people that are driving in and out of the city on their route are all predominantly would have decent jobs. So if you're inclined to give, then you're inclined to give probably respectable amounts. And so he said, yeah, I've got 3 boats. And then a couple of weeks later, another TikTok, and he's talking about, if you want the boat live-aboard experience, I can rent you my boat as an Airbnb. So he's progressed from in the eyes of people that don't know him, and I don't know him by any stretch of the imagination, a homeless bum to a guy running an Airbnb on a boat business. So it's obviously it's an interesting look into the life of a guy. If all you see is what you hear from the people that have given him money on the road, and what you read on TikTok and watch his boating experiences, it's an interesting, very interesting lifestyle. So it's interesting. So I mean, I don't live on this boat. It's a floating cottage, if you want to call it that. But if you look at You've Got Mail, the movie, right? They who's the guy that's in that? Oh shoot, my memory's going. Anyway, so both of the antagonists in that movie ended up living on a boat. Now it's because their wives threw them out, so they moved out of their apartment or their house and moved into their boats, and they were both like 50-foot cruiser and 50-foot sailboat, so they're different lifestyle. And I think they were in New York. I think that movie is set in New York. So yeah, so it's interesting what people do. I mean, there's a couple of places that rent themselves out as botels. In this marina, there is a rule that people agree to that you won't run a rental business, although few people do, and apparently they have, they're paying for the privilege of having parking and taking advantage of the facility. So that's fair. But yeah, so this guy is fooling us all by his business acumen. He'll be a boat tycoon before we know it. So I hear birds everywhere. I don't see any yet though, so hopefully we're going to see some birds that justify our existence here. So the sun has gone down behind the building totally. It's only it's 8:05. I think our official sunset is supposed to be 8:30. So it could get relatively dark then, and we'll see. Maybe we'll move this party inside, and ooh, look at all the cobwebs. Have to get out here with a hose and a Swiffer to get rid of the cobwebs. I like Diet Coke. Had Diet Coke. Like Diet Coke forever. Yeah, check him out on TikTok. His name is Tate. He may be on YouTube as well. I've never really taken the time to look for him. Obviously, if he's on TikTok, he's got a phone with a data plan. So, hey. Frenchie, haven't seen you in a long time. Welcome aboard. Let's give you a wrench. Sorry, I've wandered off on a different train of thought that I've totally lost what I was thinking about. Diet Coke, yes. So Diet Coke. So for a while I was doing promotional videos for artists and writers and musicians and stuff like that. It's all on this Canada Art Channel link that I put up on my profile and on my bio, link in bio, as they say. And I'd always sneak in a can of Diet Coke in the background, sort of as a trademarky kind of thing. And so apparently in the States now we're I don't know if we're against aspartame or whether we just want to promote cane sugar as opposed to fructose sugar or whatever it is that Coke's using. But Diet Coke is aspartame, and it has a unique taste. It's probably going to kill us all. We're going to glow in the dark, but that's okay. We need the light. And so there's a big article in the paper today about this conundrum of what Coke to drink to get the least ill effects from whatever it is they're putting in to sweeten it. But yeah, Diet Coke is is the best. And you go to a restaurant and you say, okay, I'll have a Diet Coke. And then they bring you a glass of brown stuff and you taste it and you say, is this Diet Coke or is this Pepsi? Or is this no-name cola? I'm sure there's a few restaurants that are sneaking that in when people aren't watching, so to save a few bucks. But Diet Coke is the best. Here's the Diet Coke. Oh, there's a boat coming in. Neighbor on the other side. They were gone all day. Oh, here we got an airplane coming by as well. It looks like they're organized for landing their boats. I'm not going to run over there and offer to help them. I think I did one here and they shooed me away. They didn't really want help, and sometimes that's understandable because you have your own method for bringing your boat in, and you don't want somebody else messing up your lines or changing the way you do things. As long as I don't hear a splash of a guy falling in the water. If they hear a splash, then we'll have to get the boat hook. Yeah, 12-foot boats. I keep thinking I really want a rubber raft or a Zodiac.
Yeah, whoever falls slowly, that's basically that.
Not 100% sure.
Yeah, don't always just
thank you.
warning
Don't
me,
do that.
but no, I've got ready for you.
Oh, perfect.
We'll see what they
Or you put that line on.
what they do. I always prefer that if somebody's going to help me, I'll take advantage of it. It's a 12-foot boat. That's nice. My first boat ever was a laser. So a laser is 12 feet. Oh, you landed it perfectly. You step out, tie it up, keep it from drifting forward. His crew didn't have to jump. So what kind of boat, Frenchie? When I bought this boat, the guy that owned it had a Zodiac or an inflatable, a rib, a rigid inflatable boat, but he didn't include it in the price. And at the time, I didn't really care because always live in a marina. So it's not there, but there's a few places where I would like to anchor and then boat over to the beach, and so that's an idea. At the time, an outboard motor. Now I think I'd get an electric. The batteries are getting pretty good, and no need for dealing with gas, and less noise as well. So yeah, motorboat with a trailer. I met a guy. It was in the winter here, walking on our beach, and through a friend. My second boat, my first boat in life, was a laser, which is a single sail 12-foot boat. It's a high performance Olympic class boat. I'm not a high performance or Olympic class sailor, but it was a good boat from that perspective. And my next boat was $500. That's good. My next boat was a 16-foot, again, sailboat, no motor. But a CL16. So there's a boat class in the world that's, I think, British, called the Wayfarer. So it's a 16-foot wooden boat with a particular configuration of a sail and a particular configuration of the keel, so it had a drop keel and the way the rudder worked. and it's not an Olympic class boat, but it is a worldwide boat. So there's a lot of them around the world, and people compete for trophies in all parts of the world. So I had one of those, but mine was plastic. Anyway, so I'm talking to this guy on the beach, and he says he sails a Wayfarer. And I said, a real Wayfarer or a plastic one? And he got into the hate is the wrong word to use, but the hate that wooden boat people have for plastic boat people. And so we got into conversation there, and he sails just about a mile from here. There's a whole slew of small boat clubs. So they're clubs as opposed to marinas. Very few facilities. Most of them have Johnny on the spots for bathrooms. Minimal facilities, except I guess there's somewhat docks, but mainly they're for boats that are on dollies. So you take your boat and you put it in the water when you're ready to use it, and then you bring it back out of the water and store it on land when you're not finished. There's one of these clubs is a Toronto multi-hull club, which is trimarans, and some of them are pretty big in the 30-foot range, and they're all in the water. They have no docks there, so they're all in the water on moorings. So it's a variety of boating environments in this area that still don't see any seagulls, any swans. I hear seagulls, but I don't see anybody of interest. Nothing. Last time we were here, we had a whole bunch of ducks floating around off the back. I don't even see the ducks today, so we'll sit out here until it's too dark for the camera. I bought these solar lights, but they don't really light up enough to make a live streaming environment. I know some people I follow, Lula Red Big Smile, who's here from time to time. Some of her lives are almost in the dark. A couple other people's lives almost in the dark, and then you get a few people that have a campfire going for a live, and that's always interesting because I mean all you see is the campfire, and you don't see people at all. But it's easy to mentally transport yourself to sitting beside the campfire, and. That's gonna. I was just looking at how I attached that barbecue. It's the fitting that they provided for mounting it is a little bit on the flaky side, so it's held on with a couple of zip ties. And I'm trying to make sure that if we get a decent wind, it doesn't blow over. But it won't fall in; it'll just blow over. Yeah, I hear seagulls, but I don't see anybody coming by. Oh, they got ducks next door. Kids are excited because they're seeing a duck. Oh, yeah, I see the ducks. There's two ducks further out. They're not visible in the camera. They're pointing in different directions. So they're young ducks. I guess they're coming to check up on the other. Oh, there's the other one there. So I think they're getting some potato chips from the kids next door. So I don't know if Kelly Chickens is still here, but one of the channels lives I was watching, they were talking about trying to buy ducks or turkeys for their coop, and I don't know if ducks eat potato chips on a regular basis or not. I don't know if Kelly Chicken is still here. The Here, ducky, ducky, ducky. Here, ducky, ducky. Let's see when they come by. Oh, swallows going by. Last time there was a few mosquitoes out, but to some extent we're lucky that there's not that many mosquitoes, and partly it's because the swallows are eating them. So we're pretty lucky from that point of view. I mean, there's a few cobwebs, but don't even have as many spiders as we had last year. So. Yeah, Duck's coming to visit us here, but he's going to be out of camera range. He's basically going under the hull where we can't see him. He's getting some chips from the people next door.
Ducks are going to be thirsty.
I can hold it for the other one.
What
is the peanut in the duck? Do you guys want to pass the seat? What is the peanut duck? I didn't have a time to.
Didn't you hear him say?
I think it's no single product.
Okay, let's see if this O. Henry bar is soft enough to eat for dessert yet. Just right. Sorry for the crunching noises.
Well done, John.
Thank you.
Pleasure to have a professional.
Here, duck, here, duck. Why don't we ever get any ducks? It's not like there's that much boat traffic here that's going to scare them away. Big cruiser on the opposite dock is gone. Didn't see him all day, so. The wind has totally died down, so.
Those are the ones they requested. I'm like, do you want these?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the Whipple.
We've got a helicopter coming over to check us out. I haven't been listening to the news to see if there's anything exciting happening down by the waterfront that needs a helicopter to investigate, but every once in a while you get one coming in. I guess we get the Medivac helicopters coming into the airport here because they'll drop people off either at the airport to get picked up in an ambulance, or 3 or 4 hospitals in Toronto have heliports on the roof, so landing areas for the helicopters on the roof. And sometimes you'll be downtown and you look up and you see a helicopter coming in to land. Always sort of interesting. You wonder what happened that made them decide that a helicopter was the right thing to use. Seagull, what are you doing here? Come over here and visit us.
Yeah, we're gonna close up and stuff. Okay. Thank you very much.
Don't see the helicopter, so I guess it's gone off somewhere else. And airplane flying by, but not close enough to even be noisy enough to bother us. It's interesting. It's 8:30 and the sun's going down. And a month ago, it was 9:30 and the sun was going down. So time flies so quickly. It's only a month. Well, no, June 21st is equinox. July 21st. So it's only a month and a week. That since the longest day of the year. We'll see how much longer the sun stays out for workable timing in the winter. I mean, it gets dark at 4:30. Now, there's also a daylight saving time change that affects it to some extent. That you wonder what time of the day it is that the sun actually goes down. But no, it's very pleasant today. There comes a plane, but he's a bit off to the side. Sometimes we're right in the flight path, and sometimes they're off to the side. So here he's off quite a bit to the side, so we're not going to get that much noise from him at all. They're all little Bombardier Q400 twin-engine passenger planes, Porter and Air Canada, basically flying in and out of the Toronto Island Airport. Yeah, this one Hinderbar has gotten pretty good. Just the right degree of.
That was so nice.
Again, pardon for the chewing noises.
Okay, guys, enough. Let's go.
So I'm working on this AI photo project for Adobe, where they're buying photos of stuff that goes into their AI database, and they pay okay if it's stock photography, so it's not a get-rich-quick scheme by any stretch of the imagination. And one of the things, so it's been going for a year now, and every month they come up with a different mission of what kind of photos they're looking for. So here they're looking for outdoor photos, and so this time the mission said no gardening tools, no patio chairs, no lawn chairs. Because people have submitted enough of those that the AI knows when you're asking for a lawn chair, this is what they're expecting. If you're asking for a garden rake, this is what you're expecting. And so one of the things I'm doing is boat pictures. And they were happy with the last lot, which was basically binoculars and the captain's hat and sort of some of those boating accessories. So this time we're going to get a little bit more industrial with gas cans and a bilge pump and an oil draining pump and then a fishing rod. There's a duck right behind the boat and you can't see him on the camera. Yeah, you might get him now. He's coming out. He's coming out. He's not going to be in the camera. but some taking advantage of having the boat because not everybody has, and there's probably a limited number of boat pictures that they're getting. So it's not like gardening tools where everybody, in quotes, has a garden, and everybody has a patio. Not everybody has a boat. And I guess the other thing, there's a fireplace at home, so I've given them lots of fireplace pictures, and so I guess they haven't refused any of those. I guess again, there's not enough fireplaces in the world of people that have cameras that are photographing for Adobe that that they're going to have be saturated with fireplace pictures. So the fireplace pictures have all been accepted, and they're pretty easy to make. Boat pictures is a fair bit of work in getting organized and finding the right angle. Where do you best present a gas can? You put it on the front of the boat, you put it on the back of the boat, you put it next to the engine, which is not where anybody would actually have a gas can, but if you people on long distance cruises, their fuel cans, spare fuel cans are on the deck at the side. So we'll give them some of those. And I have red gas cans and yellow gas cans. The yellow is supposed to be for diesel, and the red is supposed to be for gasoline. So, I mean, this is a diesel boat, so everything is diesel. But to the outside world, I've got the red gas cans and the yellow gas cans. So that makes it sort of an attractive assortment of images to give them. So it's another way of using the boat to do some other stuff. Because we're not sailing a lot this year. As I say, I hurt my foot, and I'm apprehensive about jumping off onto the dock. So I'm being too timid, I agree, 100%. So if I can do YouTube cooking on the boat and YouTube lives on the boat, and Adobe photography, AI photography on the boat, then it's a way of using the boat on a daily basis for stuff other than just sailing. It's part of the environment. So I was going to do the gas cans today, but I ended up doing the chicken on the barbecue. Because I need a video for the videos, and we've got a bit of time before Adobe wants all their pictures uploaded. So I may come down tomorrow and deal with the gas cans. Now, I don't want it to be super bright because then you get some weird shadows. So photography, if you're doing photography in the midday when the sun is really bright, you get weird shadows that are sometimes hard to deal with. So if it's a little bit cloudy, I think I saw something about haze in the middle of the day, and I don't know what they mean by haze. A couple of weeks ago, they said we had forest fire haze, but all we had was garden variety fog. I mean, one year we had haze, and I could smell wood smoke smell in the air. So the plane's going overhead again. The plane, boss, the plane. I can't remember what that movie was from, what that expression was from. As a kid, I'd never seen Gilligan's Island, and have always been interested in it. from the nautical perspective. They go out on a 3-hour cruise on this motorboat, and a storm comes up, and they get washed ashore, and then things happen. So this is black and white TV days, early 60s. And then I started watching the Dick Van Dyke Show. So again, black and white, early 60s TV days, when in those days we did not have a television at home. I keep saying we're too poor. Fantasy Island, yeah. Hey, James Cameron. Let's give you a wrench network a bit on your way out. Happy birthday to you. Didn't see you come in. The Fantasy Island. See, I don't know if I ever saw that, but anyways, I started watching Gilligan's Island because it's on one of the streaming services. And oh my God, is it ever crap? It's not. I mean, Dick Van Dyke. It's sort of interesting. The storyline is sort of interesting. These guys marooned on an island, and then apparently I did not know this, but there's a whole internet community that tries to analyze what's wrong with Gilligan's Island and why the boat only had 3 hours worth of fuel, and why it needed to get back, and how it couldn't have happened, and they couldn't have washed ashore. And so it's interesting from a nautical point of view in terms of oh, it's a grasshopper. Why is there a grasshopper on the boat? This is not the farm country. This is the water. So it was interesting. I probably watched 10 episodes and never figured out Marianne, never figured out the professor, never figured out the rich people. Gilligan sort of understood him. The captain, too weird for me, but anyway, so Gilligan's Island. So every time I think of people going for a cruise like my neighbor did that just came back with other kids. They're out for a 3-hour cruise, and the neighbor on the other side is out for a 3-hour cruise with his guests. You always think of Gilligan's Island with the 3-hour cruise. I've jumped ahead. So when I was a kid, we didn't have a television. But when I was in high school, I ended up with a job. I guess it was a weekends and summer job, working for a TV repair guy. And that's where we sort of got our first black and white TV, because it was a reject from somebody's that traded into color. And it's sort of interesting comparing the structure of a 60s television show to this year's television show in terms of the introductions and the script development and the plot development. And there's still so many similarities. I mean, there's when I just started watching That Girl. So that was color, but still mid-60s. And then you compare sort of the plots to Friends. Again, set in New York, so similar environment to some extent. And piece of fluff. And there's so many similarities between shows from the 60s and shows from the whatever Friends was, the 2000 and somethings. I haven't watched anything current as far as I know. Like there's a big Sydney Sweeney conspiracy going on the internet now. Didn't know who Sydney Sweeney was. And there's the big Blake Lively conspiracy going on. No idea who Blake Lively was, and no idea what This Is Us is about. But maybe, I guess, when it hits streaming 10 years from now, end up watching some of those things and reminiscing and say, why didn't I watch them when they're current? I mean, I had never watched a Friends episode when it was current. Just never occurred to me that this is something to spend an hour on, an hour a week, I guess. It was one a week, 20 episodes, yeah. So the nice to see that you're still around, Jake. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. We'll see if it starts getting too dark for this to work. I mean, I'm looking at myself on my computer here, and the light is still good. Another plane overhead. One day, because we're about 20 miles from Toronto International Airport, and one day I'm down on the beach and I look up and I see the 747 coming overhead so low, and I don't know if it was on a go around there or whether it was flying from Toronto to New York, because we get a lot of traffic. We get a lot of Alaska freight traffic. There's an Alaska freight line that comes through there, and they'll stop in Toronto and unload the stuff, and then they'll head for New York. So you see them, if you're up at the airport, you see them on a sort of regular basis. Lufthansa still flies 747s into Toronto, probably once a week. At one point it was once a day, and those have become 777s and 787s, but every once in a while you still see them flying in a 747, and those would be mainly passenger, probably a bit of cargo on the side. But my understanding is a lot of the freight companies are buying up the 747s because they're too expensive to run for people compared to the 787s. And I can remember once flying on a 747. I don't know, maybe in one of my trips to California, and I ended up chatting up one of the stewardesses and got permission to go upstairs and look at the first class lounge upstairs, and I was so impressed because you go up this circular staircase and it's the windows and the chairs, and that was before they had the pods, right? The lay flat pods, which everything has lay flat pods. 767s have lay flat pods, and I was so impressed with that. But then I guess the 747s are too expensive to run for passengers, although I guess even the Airbus A380s are being phased out because that's another 4-engine plane. But they're too expensive to fly, and they can fly two 787s, and the cost per passenger, I guess, is better from the operator's point of view. So it's always a thrill to see a 747 whether you're looking up and you see the big 4 engines. I guess if you look up, it'd be an A380, but the 747, the wing is swept back more. Hey, Dragon Corso, thank you for coming by. Welcome aboard. Ahoy there. So I'm just wondering how much more we're going to have light. The sun is down already. I guess the sun went down around 8:30. Yeah, maybe 8:20. I can't look up the actual sunset. Maybe I can. This computer has Microsoft flogging all these channels, and one of them is the Weather Network. I guess they're paying Microsoft to include it on their computer. Now it's taking forever to load. So I see the little Weather Network icon, but I don't see any. Okay, now it's going to sit there and circle for a while until it wastes my internet. I don't want it. Xbox. Why am I getting all this crap? Do I care what Billie Eilish is doing? Okay, so this isn't giving me. This isn't giving me the Weather Network details of sunrise and sunset. But yeah, I'm going to be curious to see when we're supposed to have had sunset. As I say, we started the summer, June 21st. I think I did a live that day, and the sunset at 9:30. It was a very long day by our standards. I guess it gets even longer up north. But as they say, winter is coming. So I never saw Winter is Coming. Never saw Game of Thrones. I've never watched one episode. But I hear that they use a phrase called winter is coming in sort of an ominous, foreboding sense. But it's not coming for another 4 months, so we got lots of time before we have to worry about it. 4 months is 7 months, 11, yeah, 4 months. We'll have some more good weather and spend much more time on the boat, both for this with this community and doing other things. Oh, I smell somebody else's barbecue. I can't tell what it is because there's no restaurant in here, but there's a picnic area, which is sort of a covered roof kind of area, and people have brought their patio barbecues and chained them to the rail. There's a railing all around it, and they chain their gas tanks to the rail so people can't bore their gas or bore their barbecue. And so it's more of a communal kind of barbecue area that do-it-yourself dining. The breeze has picked up a little bit. It's interesting. So the beach that I go to is Kew Beach, but you see a lot about Woodbine Beach. And again, it's in the news. There's a few events there, and people get stabbed and shot there from time to time. So it's an interesting place. And for a while, there was a guy. I guess there was actually two different people. We're backing up a trailer full of jet skis to the beach and renting out the jet skis. And the authorities decided that this was not a good thing because the jet ski people were running over the swimmers and the stand-up paddleboarders, which is not a good thing. So there was all kinds of fuss about whether people should be running businesses, renting jet skis on a public beach. And so this week, when I've been down to the beach, not a jet ski in sight. I assume it's because they did get told that they can't be there. And the jet skis would get parked in this marina, so they needed someplace to leave them. And they would just drive the trailers of jet skis into the marina here and leave them overnight and then pick them up on the next morning. So I guess it's like my friend Tate, the boat panhandler. Everybody's looking for an opportunity to make a living and think outside of the box and stretch the envelope a little bit. O. Henry, the best bar. I guess the thing is, if you bought 20 jet skis to rent them out and then you can't rent them out anymore, what do you do with them? I haven't checked the ads to see whether there's a rash of jet skis available to rent. We've got a really nice breeze here now. The wind instruments are turning. The flags are not flat out, they're just moving. So a 5 mile an hour, 4 mile an hour wind. It says the temperature is 26, so that's 80 something Fahrenheit. So as long as we don't get mosquitoes, super pleasant evening. We'll sit here for a while and wait till our neighbor comes in. Okay, Jake, thank you for coming by. Appreciate you hanging around for this long. Every minute helps. Love to have you. We'll check you out for next time you're exercising. I was going to ask you what that band is that you wear around your chest, but we'll do that when you're on your next live. So thank you for coming by. We'll talk to you later. Yeah, so it's 8:51. May end up pulling the plug on this excellent adventure at 9 because it's going to get too dark, and the inside of the boat's relatively boring. You'll sit there for a while and finish the O. Henry bar. See how that tastes. I don't have any other dessert. Well, that's not true. I had some dessert. I had pudding cups. So I've always liked pudding cups on the boat, and fruit cups too. And so I think I bought No Name pudding cups this year. And oh, were they ever awful. The vanilla ones were good. The caramel ones were a weird color of orange. The chocolate ones tasted mealy. Now, I could be eating last year's pudding cup, so it could be my fault. I lost track of which ones are old and which ones are new. Pardon me. So they've gone through a winter freeze, so plane overhead again. So now we're seeing lights on the planes in a big way. So the pudding cups are not good. We've got Pringles, but the problem with Pringles is when you open them, you got to eat the whole thing. And I'm not feeling like a whole can of Pringles kind of mood. Down to 3 people. Wonder who the 3 people are. I know there's my other phone. I wonder who the three people are. Come out, who are you? Oh, you're still there, Jake. Yeah, I was just curious. I noticed it today, and I'm saying to myself, is he trying to keep himself from exploding? Yeah, again, thank you very much for sticking around for this length. The when I'm watching you, it's usually on my computer in my office, so I'll turn on a couple lives and just let them run in the background for a couple of hours, because why not? They you get some interesting commentary, you learn some interesting things, and you contribute to people's watch hours. So oh, that O. Henry tastes good. Oh, we got some circling, so hopefully we don't lose people. There's something I wanted to say at the end of the day. Oh, we're back. Bits of chocolate everywhere. Well, we're losing visitors, but we'll still.
Okay, excellent idea. Great tips. Thank you so much.
We'll leave it running for a while and see what who else comes by. See who else comes by. We'll turn the camera around when my neighbor next door comes back. Maybe we'll bring the camera inside. Okay, how come we're losing? We got some circling. Wonder what that is. You know, I'm looking up. I don't see any stars. I remember a couple of weeks ago, we were waiting for a thunderstorm to happen, and never did. But we had thunderclouds on one side and the moon in a clear sky on the other side. So we get some weird things happening here. I'm gonna move myself around a little bit. See if I'm still in the picture. bit more of a breeze here. It's a big lag here. Interesting how much of a lag there is. Because I moved. What happened to here? We've lost. Go away. Yeah, the lag on here is better than the lag on yeah, we're still getting a decent picture. So the light's not bad. It's getting darkish. But if the as long as the camera works, we'll keep sitting here. You know, I'd rather sit outside than sit inside. What's this? This thing out of the way so it's not poking me in the head. The sky is a little bit orange now. But we have no real watchers, so we'll give it a few minutes, and then abandon it. I wonder if I'm going to have to start charging the camera as well. Computer's got lots of life, but I think I'll bring out the power for the camera in case we decide to stick around for a little bit of time. Wonder what I can do. Okay, so now we've turned off the live video on the camera so that it's not attracting unnecessary attention. But let's bring up the power supply for the camera. charging point of view. Let's close this hatch so I don't forget. We'll just move that music a little bit to the side. Let's see if we can figure out why these lights aren't lighting up. I guess I didn't get enough charge. Why? I guess because I didn't have the charger aimed at the Okay, so why are we losing the video? That doesn't make any sense. What we'll do is we'll just put something over the phone so it isn't so bright for other people to see. There we are. So I can hear a bit of music. Let's see. Why hasn't this come back yet? Okay, now we're back. Yeah, that was weird. I didn't know what to expect when it said hide the video. I thought it was only going to hide the video from the camera itself, not hide it from, pardon me, from the world. Oh, there we are. Okay, so we don't have that light to shine on me. Wonder why. Yeah, a lot of lag here. Wow. Okay, we're back. Well, let's stay out here till we can't see each other anymore. Yeah, so that's interesting that solar light didn't charge enough from the daylight that it was picking up. Unless I had it totally upside down and there's no sun shining in it at all. Interesting that this doesn't show me the okay, so now that's semi-live. So I guess it was showing my face was all lit up. Makes me think that we should have a light on the boat shining down onto the cockpit one way or another anyway, so that you can see if you're out sailing in the dark. Nobody here. Let's see. Hopefully we'll get somebody else that'll join us. Let's let it keep. What time is it now? So now it is 9:13, and we've been online for 2 hours and 29 minutes. Let's give it 5 minutes. If nobody comes up in 5 minutes, then we'll pull the plug on this. We'll clean up after the grilled chicken episode, and let's just skip ahead. This is boring. I guess to some extent I'm getting light from the computer and light from the phone. The second phone is doing a bit of light as well. Let's take advantage of that. Yeah, see, there's a deck light that plugs into an outlet by the mast, but it won't reach back here. I guess we should just have a... What if I turn this on? That gives us a bit of light. It's not aimed at where we're sitting. Oh, it's a beautiful evening. Oh, somebody's come by. Pibble, you're back. Nice to see you. It's getting darkest. I'm just trying to figure out. There's no cockpit light here. There is a light at the front of the steering pedestal that lights up the floor. And I think what I'll do is go sit over there, because that will create some light for me. And we'll see if that's good enough for the camera. Let's see what this did to us. I don't think that's picking us up at all, so let's just angle the camera slightly differently. Okay, we're gonna have to pick that up a little bit there. Let's see if this picks me up. Let's see, where am I? Okay, let's turn this camera around a bit more. So do you want to be in the chat? Where does that take us? Okay, so that's going to pick me up now. Let's see. Okay, I've lost my chat. I wonder if that's the mosquito starting to come out now. I wonder what kind of plane that was flying overhead. Yeah, the light, it's interesting. It's a 4-year-old Samsung. The picture on the camera itself is much better. But I'm looking at it, my computer is way behind, but I'm looking at it on another phone to monitor what it looks like on another phone. And it seems to be pretty good. We're getting a bit of light from there's one deck of light that it doesn't shine in anybody's face. It's designed not to do that, so that you can sail at night without getting blinded by the light. But it shines on the floor of the cockpit, about where I'm sitting, where my feet are. So all we're getting is just a reflected light. But it seems to be pretty good. So it's an interesting color combination, right? Like it's a deep blue of the sky. I mean, to me, when I look at the sky over that boat that you see there with the red sail cover, it's virtually dark, but it still comes up with a decent amount of light in the picture, and then I mean there's some lights. The lights on the docks are not very bright, but on land there's a parking lot, and then there's that picnic area that I was talking about. It's got a bunch of street light kind of lights that are quite, and there's a moon. So we got a quarter moon off to my over the shoulder, whatever shoulder that is. But the computer's circling a little bit, so we'll see how much longer we have. We have Wi-Fi. People on their boat streaming their Netflix, so that's sucking the power out to a large extent. But let's just click that, wake up their computer. There it is. it we'll keep going for a while. What are we up to now? It says we've been doing this for 2 hours and 40 minutes. If we can go to for 3, so that's another 20 minutes. 9:50, 9:45. Let's see how much longer the light gives us a workable picture. Yeah, I'm really surprised at the quality of the light. That's actually pretty amazing that it's creating a picture that good. I don't know what the video would be like if you're taking just a video with a camera. Set to auto. I guess it's just the same auto, whether it's auto through the YouTube app or auto through the raw camera itself. Hey, Marketplace, you're back. Nice to see you back. Well, this is Marina Wi-Fi. I don't know what they're using for Wi-Fi. There's a couple of businesses on land here, boat repair places and stuff like that I see Starlink antennas on their buildings. Their buildings, businesses run out of containers, converted containers. But I don't know what the marina itself is using, whether it's using Starlink or whether it's using a solid connection. I've never checked. I guess I could check with Ookla will tell you who the provider is, and that would that'd be an interesting thing to know. I mean, in this area, the two residential ones are Rogers and Bell Canada. Commercially, there's a couple other people that are running fiber into various areas, mainly in the downtown area, or they're piggybacking on other people's fiber. So this is not this is the only industry here. There's half a mile away, there's a couple of large industrial users, trucking company, cement company, Telsat, Canada's satellite-based service provider, used to have a big ground station here. They've moved that. So there would have been a good fiber probably into that location. Whether it would have got extended as far as we are here, it's harder to tell. But yeah, so I guess what I'll do that. I'll next time, I'm not going to do it in the middle of a live, is go to one of the speed test sites that tells you who the provider is. Always look up the IP address and see who owns that IP address. But the IP addresses are sometimes owned by resellers, so that doesn't really tell you who the actual infrastructure is. I don't know how much data I have on my phone. I mean, my phone is 5G, so theoretically it's pretty high quality. But I don't know if I'm on an unlimited plan or not. And it's a plan where there's no paper to back up the contract, so I can't look it up. I'd have to figure out what my password is to log into their portal and look it up. So I haven't been that interested in that adventure. The yeah, I don't know if any boats are buying their own Starlink. If we're getting acceptable Wi-Fi in the price of the marina, why would you pay another $100 a month for Starlink? For the businesses that are in the containers, if there's no fiber service running to where they are, then they're going to pay to bring the fiber in, and their costs are going to be a lot higher than Starlink. So I can see them using Starlink now that it's available. So our neighbor's coming in. I don't want to deal with him, so let's bring this camera inside. And let's see what it thinks of the There we are. Now we've got some more better quality all right, let's bring this in. Oh, sorry about my butt. Well, hopefully he's can see enough in the dark to see where he's going. Let's turn this sound down. Okay, so now, oh yeah, we were going to plug in the phone, weren't we? To get some juice in that phone. Let's do that. Okay, how messy is this boat? How messy is this boat? Go away. Now we're inside the boat, so hopefully we're not going to lose Wi-Fi because of the being at water level. Let's get some power on this. Okay, so now we have some power there. Let's plug this in here. Where's the hole? Oh, it's on that side. Okay, let's put this up here. Get some power to the phone. Can't really tell what it's doing. Oh, 25%. Okay, so he landed it in the dark. I don't know how good his guests are at helping him out. Didn't hear a clunk. Didn't hear a splash. Let's see what we've got here. Let's see if this thing wakes up. So we'll give it 10 minutes. Then we'll have had 3 hours of this excitement. We'll clean up the mess. And then edit the cooking video, so that'll be a brief live tomorrow afternoon. and then we'll see if it goes live. Hopefully, it's good video. Guess we could load it on this computer and take a fast look at it. But hopefully, it's good video. That I find it hard in the sun to see sometimes what the camera is seeing, and sometimes, oh, pardon me, sometimes there's a bit of a surprise when what you get is not what you expected to get. It's hard to tell sometimes what you're going to get. And then I'm going to edit the chicken cooking, but that'll be 3. Will it be 3? I think it'll be 3 videos in a row of boat barbecue. So I may want to defer that, and we'll end up with a pasta with shrimp in coconut milk, which I can't remember where I had something like that, and it tasted pretty good. And the results are pretty enough in terms of the color of the shrimp and the color of the coconut milk. Throw in some red pepper to get some of that color, and so it'll be a pretty video, as well as a change from boat barbecue in a row. So I have to see what I feel like doing there. Now, if the video is crap because of the light or whatever excuse I'm going to give myself, then I'm going to have to get a replacement dish going anyway. Okay, so we don't have everybody here. Okay, we'll save it anyway. So I do like to look to see who has come on board and go visit their lives and their videos, and support people. So I see some circling here. I don't know if the circling is happening in the camera itself. Let's turn this off. We've had enough of this guy. And, oh, what happened to that? Oh, this is a lot of lag. Why is there so much lag here between... I see myself plugging in the... power supply into the camera, and that was like 2 minutes ago. So in this view I still see myself sitting outside. Oh, I guess if I click on the live, then it'll update itself more as well. So there I see myself looking straight at the camera. Okay, that's not bad. It's a bit of lag, so let's let it keep going till we hit the 3-hour mark. If we get new visitors coming on board, then we'll take the time to say hello to them. And and chat a little bit. Otherwise, we'll move on. Yeah, look how dark it is outside now. The boat doesn't look too messy in here. I mean, there's some stuff sitting over there, but it's still a nice environment. Yeah, so if we have to do the shrimp with coconut milk was a plan. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to be down the boat anyway for the evening live. Let's see if we can do chicken and barbecue. I've still got that salmon steak that has to get cooked as well. That will be another day. And then we want to do steak on the barbecue, because that will give us then fish, chicken, steak, as we were talking about earlier with Arizona Jake, maybe shrimps on the barbecue as well. We'll get some jumbo black tiger shrimps, and soak them in soy sauce and lemon juice, and that should be really, really, really good. And not sure what I'm going to have with them. Maybe that grilled zucchini was pretty good the time I did that. And then, hey, Stitching It Up, thank you for coming by. It's getting late. I've moved from outside to inside because it's dark outside. So we're sitting inside the boat for a few more minutes. But love to have you come aboard. And we'll see how long it lasts. I thought I was losing Wi-Fi for a few minutes there. And that seems to come back. Sometimes inside the boat because it's closer to the water line. We're not below the water line, but we're getting close. That sucks out some of the power. Yeah, Stitching It Up. Thank you for considering that. As I say, we're probably not going to have much more than 10 minutes of live anyway, because we've run out of light. And but I do appreciate every watch minute. It all does add up. I'm not sure I'm ever going to hit 4,000, so I got to figure out how I'm going to deal with that. I need a couple million view cheeseburgers, and that would get things going. Yeah, that's what we really need to get enough watch hours to make YouTube happy with us. And I guess maybe the challenge is finding those recipes that are going to get enough people clicking on them that it adds up. So, I mean, my first beans and wieners, I think, was one of my better videos with over 1,000 views. And but the next version of beans and wieners was sad. It was only a few hundred. So it wasn't beans and wieners that were going to get people excited. I thought mac and cheese would really take off, and we'll do some more of those because I like the taste. They're not a lot of production, so it's not an interesting looking video from that perspective. But I like eating them. So let's see what comes out of what comes out of the thinking cap, and always ask ChatGPT for some suggestions for things to cook on a boat, and build on that. I've used some of ChatGPT's. Hey, Gator Saw. Yeah, it is a Hunter 320, 25 years old, so it's getting up there. I can't remember. I'll have to go check your channel because I don't remember what I saw there when we looked. It's yeah, it's a Hunter 320. They're a good boat. They're a good boat. They big and roomy. A little bit too much topsides in the wind. In the wind, they're sometimes a challenge to get into the dock because you're getting blown around from side to side. But yeah, it's a good boat. Oh, Florida Airboat. Yeah. Okay, now it's all coming back to me. From a Haze Darkly. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so it's getting dark here. We're sitting outside for quite a while, and I moved inside. So it's not that exciting anymore, but now I've got more company. Let's keep chatting for a while, and got to clean up from my afternoon cooking adventure, and I was just muttering to myself that I've got to look at that video. It was a bright sunny day again, and I can't see what the camera sees. So I don't know if what I've recorded is good or even usable, or whether it tells the whole story. So I've tried to take different versions of flipping the chicken and cutting the chicken and salting the chicken. So we'll see what that looks like, and then decide what when that's going to get posted. The Florida Airboat, yeah, it's. I've never been in the Everglades. I've seen the sign on the way to Key West from Miami, but I've never taken a detour, and so I've never been on an airboat. Never been on anything in those waterways. It would be interesting. It would be interesting. I was watching some stuff about in the last hurricane about mangroves and how they absorb some of the surge from the water. So that was kind of an interesting thing. And again, if you're not there, it doesn't register, right? It's just part of somebody else's reality. Ooh, we're getting the bright light of the Gator Saw. I did not subscribe to you. Why not? I thought I did. Or oh, okay, it's because no, this isn't. I'm your miss. Let me hit subscribe right now. I apologize. I'll watch more detail later, but you've got my sub right now. The interesting, because I make a list of everybody that comes by, and then make a point to check everybody out if they can be found. Sometimes I can't find people, but there you are for whatever that's worth, and we'll watch a bunch of stuff and comment on it. Yeah, so the mangroves, that was an interesting conversation. I can't remember. I was watching somebody on YouTube. They were talking about the surge and the fact that some of the mangroves have been cut back, and that's had an effect on the ability of the waterways to not be affected by hurricanes as much as at other times. So the it's not something that we experience here, because it's a different weather environment completely. Let's just keep track of who is visiting us here. I say I keep track, but obviously I don't, because I totally lost Gator Saw. So let's not let that happen again. Okay, so let's see what we're doing here. I think we will pull the plug on this. It was nice to see you. Yeah, Gator Saw, thanks. I just say, we'll check you out. I guaranteed I had subbed you. I mean, I gave you a wrench, so obviously I'd checked you out, but I guess I didn't click hard enough, or the internet died before we had a chance to finish that transaction. So thank you for coming by. Stitches, thank you for getting me running for the last few minutes. I'm going to pull the plug on all of this excitement here. Am I sure I want to stop streaming?